Hello and welcome to the Nonsense Chronicles. This is Doug Sashry, and as always, I am joined by someone I cannot do this without.
Whatever. Rob Mendiola.
That's who you are today.
That's who I am.
Hey, man.
You know, it's not like my personalities. I can't change names on those as well.
Well, this is the end of the day where we both agree that we could just sleep and snore during this show today, and we
Be
just
a nap session.
we're just riffing back and forth today, and we're both kind of beat down a little bit.
We need a snoring patch on that.
You know, there are
on the Roadcaster.
Yeah, you know there are drops that you can add on that machine.
Oh yeah. We're just not that sophisticated.
I'd love to see us do some of them because I'm so used to what I listen to on the radio.
Yeah.
Them having it and just it adds
a
so
little
much.
bit.
Oh yeah,
but you're going to be the one that's doing them then.
Yeah.
All right. I'm down with that.
Okay.
Send me what you like and we'll cue it up.
Yeah, I have to. I'll have to ask you on that one. I have some questions on that.
We got room on the banks, so
That's good.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I got a whole rolling SPDX system. We can sample anything we want.
Yeah, but you know that by the time this podcast airs, Godfather Fest will have passed.
Yep.
Will have been a great success.
I imagine it will be.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days.
Everyone's going to be tired afterwards,
Yeah.
but it's going to be something to remember.
Who
Look
knows?
back on.
Yeah, who knows if we'll be willing to podcast the day after. Let's play it by ear.
Maybe.
Let's play it by ear. We can do like
Yeah.
we're doing today. We're going on Wednesday.
We
today.
might find a victim there too. Bring in.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
If you can't find someone within those 3 days to come in on a Monday, then we're not working hard enough.
We can riff.
We need to work harder.
We can riff. Well, we can always pull in the locals, you know, and I like
Yeah, but there's going to be a multitude of bands there, so
everybody and his brother will be there.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm sure we can get somebody on.
We can handle that.
Yeah. We'll do it.
Yeah, we can do that. And
Bring your business cards.
yeah. I don't know if I want all those people calling me, man. Some of them, yeah, no. I think we're on I think I have a couple weeks where I'm local. In other words, where I'm in the Houston area.
Non-travel weeks.
It traveled like today was all here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
And then, but home at night. And I got some time coming up that it's going to be.
You got to get your workouts in too. Been doing good on that?
Yeah. In fact, that's why I went to Massage Envy and had the 30-minute stretch and the 60-minute massage today because I just had
60-minute massage.
Yeah, it's hard to keep.
I can't even imagine doing that.
Can you imagine me staying still? For
I can't imagine you being still for 60 minutes.
Yeah, no. So, but
It must feel good.
it's just, man, in my shoulders and neck, you know, after working out, but also just traveling a lot, you know. So I kind of had to catch up there. But, you know, this time of year, I've got to get it done now. There's a lot of stuff I got to get done before I start traveling. I got, it's also in Texas right now, it's time to plant and everything else because, you know, you have to do it before it gets 190 degrees.
Right.
And you got to get stuff in the ground now. And that's underway at my house. I got some done.
Just a refresh or like complete landscaping type stuff? Or
just refresh.
Yeah.
Just, you know, more mulch. But actually, man, you know, I got some stuff that's perennial, like that. Some stuff that blooms in the winter, actually, and but some stuff like azaleas, man. I've had the hardest time with azaleas where I live because the sun just hits them and beats the living hell out.
You
of
got to
them.
have the right soil for it too.
You do too, and you know when you move in a new subdivision,
It's all sand.
Yeah, it was so much sand, and I hate.
Yeah.
They dug out a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
and so have I. And I'm hoping that what I put in, I worked on it Sunday night. I worked on it yesterday when I got home, and then I'm sure I'll do some more tomorrow night.
Yeah.
You know, just getting that all ready, and then
It takes a while to get your ground, you know, kind of suitable and you know for a good growth.
Yeah, it does.
And
You know.
each plant kind of takes different kind of soils.
Also, I got to tell you this. You know, they had some vacant lots about a block away, and we would get all that wind. Now they have 3 homes in in that vacant lot.
Yeah.
But before that, every time we get a ton of wind. That's why I've lost some trees. All that stuff they cut that they would just let weeds and stuff grow in there, would cut and blow over into our yards. And
Right.
I'm hoping, I've never seen my yard look as bad. And I'm talking about fertilize and weed and feed everything to winterize it. And still,
Yeah.
it was a rough. So it's going to take some loving.
Yeah.
But this time of year, you know, it just does, you know. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing right now at home, and I am preparing to travel again. But it's funny. We're talking about traveling, but I'm getting ready because we took so long to get this done. I'm getting ready to head back to where I got that done, where I was at last time, which is Nashville. You
Right.
know, and we're doing some work with musicians right now, and everybody and their brother is based out of Nashville.
Yeah.
And
Place to be.
It doesn't matter what genre of music, you know, there's a lot of them in Nashville. And it's kind of good because it's centrally located.
Yeah, it is.
And, you know, not so much as much for the West Coast, but it's not as bad as going all the way to the East Coast if you are West Coast. But so many people are South or Midwest. It just works out perfect, I guess, because a lot of people from both ends are there.
Yeah.
And I got to drop in and see Malcolm Springer. Good to see him for a second. And
We got some tools to get him back.
I do have some stuff.
Yeah.
Malcolm, if you're listening, you left 3 tools
Yeah.
in the guitar that you gifted for that benefit, which is much appreciated.
Yeah.
But we're going to give you the tools back.
Yeah, it's nice to have your tools back.
Yeah, we'll give you a change because I know you're going to eventually be looking for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got.
I hate losing tools, man.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
I finally had to get organized.
Especially stuff for your guitars, you know, like those are
Yeah.
special tools.
I have drum keys in the
Yeah.
specific spots, and that's one thing
Right.
that it gets very irritating because there's nothing that can take its place.
Right.
You know, so, but I went up there and saw him. And I went up and saw Blair Daly, who's also a producer and a songwriter. In fact, Blair is, I think the last time I saw him was like at my dad's when he was about 13. He's about 7 years younger than me.
Oh, wow.
And I was like 6 or 7 years older, and I think I'm 6 years older. And you know, I was an adult now legally, and he was a punk ass kid. There, I said it, but no, I told him the same thing. But it's funny, man. He's gone up to Nashville, and God, he's done good. I'll give you an example. I didn't know how deep. I knew he had been writing good stuff. He produced, but he also writes.
Yeah.
And, you know, Shinedown did their last record, Planet Zero, which is fantastic. Like I said, I think it's good. I think it's better than anything they've ever done before. But, you know, they wrote all their stuff, but the last song they wanted something a little bit different on. They went to Blair, and he wrote The Dead Don't Die.
Oh,
which
cool.
is a freaking awesome song. It was Grammy nominated. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, and he is good. What he did was he went from working, I think he was working directly with a record company, but him and 3 other rock writers. Now, I say they rock, but I guarantee you, did I show you the list of the, I think I did. I'll have to show you too. There's just so many artists across different genres that he's written for. And, he's wrote for Saving Abel before, you know. So Bringing Down the Giant, that was a Blair song. But
is he more like a lyricist?
man, he does everything. No, he
Kinda
has
comes up the whole melody, everything.
He has the recording, so he has everything ready to go. He writes, and I'm sure the bands have a big input on that part, you know. But because I know that because I remember Jason Knoll was telling me stuff that they had done with Saving Abel.
So
and
just
him.
ground up, he's in it.
Yeah, and
cool.
What he did was him and 3 other people that do the same type of stuff that he does. They formed 4 Horsemen, which is really great.
Cool.
They still kind of operate independently,
Yeah.
but as a group, they organize like that, which I think is fantastic. And he's a really great guy. He's it's funny because I think his oldest might be 4. So
Wow.
he's got a 4 and
Little.
one under 1, and he's
Wow.
51 years old. So yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah, that's he started late,
Yeah, he did.
but he's got a fantastic wife.
A lot of people are doing that now, though.
Oh yeah,
It's not that unusual, really.
no, and look, he moved to Nashville about the same time I moved to Houston. Out of Annapolis. Well, because he's been there. He's actually, I think, he's probably been a year longer in Nashville now. And he went to school, I think, in Middle Tennessee State and did music theory over there.
Cool.
And yeah, he's a good guy. I think we're going to probably do some work together with some artists and stuff. I think I can't remember the damn name of the band now, but he had him in his house cooking a gumbo like a couple nights before I got in town, and I was like, this guy, look at him, man. But what I did was I played it smart because I know the weakness of my people when we leave.
Yeah.
I brought him some andouille. In other words, a sausage to make the gumbo. It has to be, otherwise you're basically using a hot dog. Other people call it smoked sausage.
Yeah.
It's a lot different than what we do. And andouille is a heavier smoke. And I brought him up. I brought him up the good stuff. I give him a little bit, and then when I go back, I'm going back in April, and I'll talk about that in a second. But I'm going to bring him up more.
Yeah.
So that way he's
keeping it real.
yeah. When people come in,
Yeah.
he cooks and stuff, and we talked about doing some things together like
Keeping
that
it
too.
like authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was good.
That's nice.
It was good seeing him and catching up and build on that from here because
Yeah.
he's like I call people, he's a collectible.
Cool.
Yeah, he's a good person. So, but then I went up there and oh man, the day I ran into Blair was the day of the AT&T blackout.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was running like 9 minutes ahead of schedule. Then they had a wreck on 40 or one of the loops or something, and I was like, God, well, there's no way to call him.
Yeah.
There's no way
Dead
to
in the water.
dead. I'm like, God, what a jerk! What a jerk, Doug. Going to show up, and I did. I
I
showed
mean,
up.
everybody was in that boat. Yeah.
Yeah, I showed up. I showed up 10 minutes late.
Yeah.
But we just meeting outside a little cafe and stuff, and down by his house, and but yeah, I was glad he didn't say "F that guy" after 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that I don't like ever being late, and then alone, like I said,
Yeah,
it's
10
just,
minutes is not that bad, though.
But I always let people know if
Right,
I'm
right.
running late. Hey, it's like
Yeah.
when we get together at studio.
Was he aware of the outage at the time?
Yeah,
No, so he probably figured.
yeah, because he was taking internet from the cafe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because just his phone, just like mine, when he got there, he said it lit up.
You should look in your vehicle. I think you have Wi-Fi in your vehicle.
I have the capability of it. I think
You just gotta like charge it up or whatever. I think they call it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think you just add credits or whatever to it.
I'll say this about my vehicle, and I like the Expedition,
Yeah.
but I had a Max last time, which is a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
I plan to go back to that next time because I need that little bit extra space.
Mm-hmm.
And but I just assumed, well, that was a bad mistake by me. But when I got it late last year, the 2023 Ford Expedition would have a liftgate automatic. Wrong answer.
Wow.
I figured that it would also have the cooled and heated seats. Wrong
wow.
answer. I
You
mean,
just
I
got
can't.
the wrong model, man.
I cannot believe in this day and age. In fact, yeah,
It probably there's an option.
our
It's just-
CFO, one of the guys,
Yeah.
our company said, "Are you sure you want any additional packages?" I said, "No, man. Because
Yeah.
we couldn't get the Max with the price point we wanted." And I was
Right.
like, "No, I was like, no, this is fine." And I found a beautiful one that I love,
Yeah.
the color and everything, and it had 6,000 miles on it because they don't
Right,
buy
right.
new cars anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, it was it was last
Yeah.
year's model when I bought it last
Kind
year.
of like a demo model or whatever. you call
Yeah,
them.
I think somebody had it and they were moving up to something else.
Oh, okay.
I think they were trying to get
Yeah,
it.
because
and
they
it
didn't have the automatic lift gate
yeah,
or the cool seats. And
yeah, that's probably now.
like,
I get
screw
now.
this.
Hey, now I get why he moved on. But yeah,
yeah.
so yeah. But you know what the hack that I did was I love the purple bed's fine, but what's really good about purple is the purple pillow. That thing is
Purple bed. What are you talking about?
like a purple mattress.
Yeah.
You
For
know,
what? Your vehicle?
No, like for at home, you have a bed. Purple. The cup. It makes the
No, I don't know that. There's a company called Purple.
people. We have reached another time in this podcast where Rob looks at me like I've lost my damn mind.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, man.
You've never heard of purple mattress?
No.
This is gonna.
I've heard of like Tempur-Pedic. I think that's what we have.
This is gonna kill us in the ratings. You've never heard that before?
No.
It's got it's almost like, I would say it's like a waffle.
I'd
A
have to say
waffle
they're
cone.
failing in their marketing.
Well, they haven't. You know what? I don't think I've seen a lot of advertisements, but man,
Well,
so
that's
many,
what I'm talking about. I haven't seen anything on that.
but
so.
they used to be nonstop, and so many people buy them now.
I mean, I don't really shop for mattresses all the time either, though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's a comfortable mattress, but the hack is the pillows, because they make a pillow like that.
But you have one.
Oh, I think we have 4 of them. In fact, I had 2.
Okay.
Then my wife came into my life,
Yeah.
and she was, no, I have the bamboo pillows. And I like
Yeah, yeah.
those. She said, no, I like these. I don't like I don't want. Well, it wasn't a month and a half later, and guess what? Well, I want the purple pillow. I'm like, well, I bet you do, but you made your choice.
Yeah.
You got to stick on your side of the bed with your choice.
That's funny.
No, because out of
So it was better.
yeah.
Yeah.
And out of guilt, I of course bought 2 more.
Right.
So, but they're not on the purple bed in our house. That's in our guest room, so the guests
Okay.
can sleep on a nice, fantastic purple
Cool.
mattress, but you're not getting the pillows.
Is that like a memory foam type thing?
It does. It has all that. It's
all
like
that.
some. But
So you went all out on your mattress and just not on your vehicle. You need good sleep, right?
well, yeah, you need
Yeah.
you need good sleep.
Sleep is important. Man,
One
for
was
sure.
for my home, and one was company's funds. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So you got to go with what you got to go with. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little.
I dig it.
That's why. No, I don't want another package. This is fine. And if I'd have done a little bit more homework, I was
You
more.
think you could have squeezed them for the extra package?
Well, yeah, but I mean, what I was looking for, I assumed that this day and age that was automatic, because my Max had it. Yeah, and that was a 2017.
It's not that. Yeah, they they try to tier things so they can sell them.
You would assume.
Yeah, but no.
Well, my wife drives a Cadillac Escalade. She drives a fancy car.
Yeah, that's some fancy car.
But hers, guess what? She does not have Apple CarPlay in her thing. They want their own proprietary.
Proprietary.
That's right. That's the word I was looking for. They want their own proprietary
Wow, man,
stuff in there.
That's interesting. They don't have that.
Nope. Yeah. So
Bizarre.
I'm glad to have my stuff in mine.
You have Apple Play in
Oh
yours.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I enjoy that.
And let me tell you, the screen in the Expedition. Oh my God. Well, you've seen it. Yeah, it's like having a damn.
Actually, I don't think I have seen it.
You need to see how big it is. It's insane.
Like a Tesla, like a 17-inch.
It's
pretty huge.
I would bet. Yeah, it's got to be 15 at least.
Wow,
So
that's cool.
But it's big. But
Yeah, I would enjoy that too. Like
Yeah.
high screen, bigger screen.
and, they have some new features on here that my 17 didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
But I just was surprised that it did not have that.
Yeah.
Which I need to go to a Ford dealer. I still don't have it denied me access for some reason, like because maybe because I'm second owner, but for the Ford app itself. So I want to be
Yeah.
able to start it from my. So tomorrow
Yeah,
probably I'll go to. I've been meaning to go to one. I need to knock it out. Also need to go to a tow tag place because I'm
Oh
running.
yeah.
I got I got a new vehicle with the same
Yeah.
tag. Yeah, so they've been sending stuff to my office
Yeah.
instead of directly me. So they send it to me. So I go to deal with it
You
online.
do all that online nowadays.
Nope. That's what the quick answer is. You can,
Yeah.
but if you've gone I guess a couple of weeks
Oh, okay.
apparently they're blocking me out, so I have
I
to
see.
actually come in and take the punishment in person.
Yeah.
I've done this before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Normally, I just change it online real quick. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, if you wait too long, probably they want to make it hard for you.
So you saying I'm a bad person?
They want to they want to get you for an extra fee for doing that. Probably.
They actually didn't do that last time since I came in.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so I'm assuming they won't this time, but
Well,
you know
yeah.
how assuming goes.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyhow, yeah, that's
Yeah, I got a pretty funny story though. Like for a whole year here, I've been going back and forth with my tailgate not locking, and they sent me a recall. The tailgate's
no,
lock
it's
is-
closed.
it's not locking though.
I mean, it could just flip open at any time.
It just opens on its own.
While you're
that's what-
driving, ever.
well, supposedly it just opens on its own, right? You can lock it, but then somehow it jiggles itself loose, right, and opens up. So they sent me a recall for that, right?
Mhm.
So I went in and they checked it out, and they're like, okay, we checked it out. You know, you're good to go, you know. And so okay, cool. So I get back there, I lock it, and later I go check it. I walk back there, you know, and it's open. So I'm just like, what did they do? They didn't do anything, you know. I guess it's still just opening by itself, you know.
So they winked at you and said, "Yeah, we fixed it."
You know, here I'm driving back and forth and trying it, and we're locking it, and me and my wife going back and forth, and you know, locking it. And every time I go up to it, it's unlocked, you know. So I went back again to the dealership after about a year, you know,
That's gonna be fun.
having to find time to go do that.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out that I have an electronic lock in the back, and it unlocks when I have my key in my pocket. And it locks.
Automatically?
Yeah.
So can you lock it with your key?
So when I walk away from my truck and lock it, it locks everything, tailgate, doors, everything.
Well, you have a fancy.
But nobody told me that. So I've been here thinking the whole time that my tailgate's unlocked, you know.
I was explaining to somebody at the office yesterday. The reason why we don't live longer is because this just gets too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, Excel, I've been saving some files of how I did it in the past and how I do it. It's different from how I did it 3 years ago. And plus, I'm going through our server at our office and not a hard disk like I would have at home. And so I'm saving files, and what I'm doing is I'm saving over the same file again and again and just totally taking out the rest. So I'm just, I wanted to go in the room and just, you know, like,
Yell. Yeah.
I don't know if you remember any Elmer Fudd when he, you know, like he couldn't curse. He wanted, he was going to inherit. So he went in the closet and cursed. It was
Right.
pretty much me. Yeah. I was like, God,
Yeah, technology's a trip, man. It just escapes you, you know. But nobody told me that it had an electronic lock, you know. But now I know. So, but
Well,
yeah, I guess it is a little fancy.
I didn't know.
I've never had an electronic lock
I
on
didn't
any of
know.
my vehicles.
I didn't know I could. Well, you have a Rubicon, dude.
Yeah, I know.
You've crossed the Rubicon.
I've crossed it. I'm next level.
That's right. But yeah, when I was in Nashville, I also got to see. I got to go and see Rick Monroe and the Hitmen perform at Ray Stevens. Okay, let me see if you remember like your old stuff. Remember the old Ronco Presents commercials?
No.
Like it was old records way back in the day. Or let's see if you remember this Ray Stevens song, "The Streak." Yeah, they call in the streak.
No.
Look at that! Look at that! You don't remember that,
No, I don't remember that.
dude?
No.
You don't connect on anything I say. God.
Purple,
Yeah.
Ray Stevens. No.
Okay. Well, anyhow, a long time ago, he has a theater.
We're from
Kyle,
different
and
states, remember?
This is true, but I
Yeah.
mean that was everywhere.
Maybe it just didn't play Ray Stevens in Texas, man.
That's what it was.
That's what it was.
Anyhow, they have a theater over there. It's called Ray Stevens or Ray's Cabaret, and
Oh, wow.
and they had like a
So he's that big, right?
yeah. Well, I mean, think
What
of
kind
it.
of music was that?
I mean, it was really big back in the day. Now Ray Stevens is probably the same age as my dad, 88 years old or something. He's really I think he's in his
So what year was that?
mid-80s.
Like what year is that? What genre?
70s, late 70s.
Oh, okay.
I think country-ish, but kind of
Yeah.
he did funny stuff. He was like a Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
of
probably
that-
didn't.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't played at my house.
Well, yeah, he did some weird stuff.
Yeah.
But he I'm some members of the commercial now. But think of this as the place is kind of like a Branson type theater. In other words, so the older star has a theater, and every once in a while he'll show up at it. But they do all kind of events there, and they were having this like Nashville Star type search thing,
Yeah.
and they had 4 existing, accredited acts
Yeah.
that would play in between the people performing for the judges.
Okay.
And Rick and them were one of the ones that were
Rick
playing.
Monroe.
Yeah, Rick
Oh,
Monroe.
cool.
And the Hitmen. And
That's who was on the video you sent me, right?
yeah,
The acoustic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that sounded great.
Yeah, they did a really good job, and it was perfect too because I wanted to get out of town, but I wanted to stay, and they were playing early. There were only four, like I said, existing acts, and they didn't care what order, and they were early, so it was good. And so I got to see that. It was only 2 songs.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was all acoustic, and
Yeah.
boom, boom, I was done.
That sounded good.
Yeah, and it was really good to go out and see that, and I was kind of hoping that Rick and they would play the new song, but they did not play the new song because it was acoustic. But if it wasn't acoustic, they would have played it. But
some songs just don't translate.
Yeah,
acoustically.
The new song they have is called "Worth the Hurt."
Okay.
And I think it actually would do pretty good, but we'll see. And I talked to Rick's PR person last night, and we've been talking back and forth. I met her for the first time when I was in Nashville this trip in, and she messaged me yesterday. I don't know what time. It was right before I went to bed. Like, we messaged until I fell asleep, like right after 10 o'clock. And but that's the good thing about my phone being on silent. I'll take, if I see it, I'll take it.
Yeah, I wish I could do that.
Yeah, I know, boy. It's because it's kind of triggers me after a while, So,
yeah.
But yeah, she told me that Rick is getting together with a bunch of other acts. They're talking about putting together a benefit concert for Amarillo, the Panhandle area.
Oh, cool.
For the fires.
Yeah.
In fact,
that was huge.
Yeah, and they're still burning now. And because I didn't realize, well, I knew it existed, but I didn't pay close attention. But I didn't know like the cattle that they had to put down because
the damage was extensive.
Did you hear about it? So hot that it popped eyeballs of the. I was like, oh my God, that's sick.
Yeah, we're gonna pay the price for that.
Oh, that's what she. Yeah, she was talking about.
Beef price is gonna go up for sure.
Going up.
Yeah, they're already high, but yeah. We'll feel that for sure.
Jesus, yeah, it's when you think about all the old westerns or old history, the cattle drives. That's the cattle drives. They would come down to the Panhandle, and go back up again. So
it hits the economy when events happen like that.
It is, and they got a little bit of snow last week, so it
I saw that.
It hit some of it, but it didn't. I think one of them is only 15% contained, and the other is like 60% contained. So, but that's coming. That's going to come up. I don't know when yet. It's all in the beginning phases.
Yeah, the benefit.
Yeah. And they're going to actually go up there and play. So
play Panhandle.
Yeah,
cool.
So I'm actually, if you got a venue in the Houston and the Hill Country and East Texas somewhere, Dallas, that I'm trying to help Rick out, and he comes this way, and he play his way back home.
Yeah.
So but because man, they do a lot of shows in the Midwest and the East Coast.
Yeah.
But they don't do a lot in Texas. Just very little. So he's making his inroads, and his music's on the charts. Man, he's doing good. It's more of a Southern rock kind of country, So and I love it. So it's good.
Yeah, it's always been popular in this area.
Oh yeah, it'll do good here.
Yeah.
But so I mean, you talk about all these these road trips. Well, I've got 2 that I'm going to make with Drowning Pool. The festival
within this month.
No.
Okay.
There's a lot of movement, and I'm going back to Nashville for different stuff. And I'm probably going to stop in on the way back I'll try and catch Wichita, Kansas, because I can catch Drowning Pool on my way back home, and might be able to get some of our friends in Tulsa. Jason, maybe he'll
9 Left Dead.
No, well, they're south of that, but maybe Jason would want to come up and.
Jason White.
Yeah, maybe meet the guys. I have to talk to him about that. I'm not sure. I'm not
first 48 guys.
Yeah, I'm not positive yet if that's the route, and it depends on timing. How much time?
Yeah.
There's some stuff with a couple chains that I want to see while I'm out there. multitask to the.
He might be busy with homicides.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that definitely might be true.
That happens.
Yeah. But it's definitely, when I take these trips, I multitask, I don't miss a beat on some of the attractions. When I was up there last time, this last trip to Nashville, I had to go to Corinth, Mississippi, and which is right on the Tennessee and Mississippi line, about 80 miles east of Memphis, and I had to run down Jason Knoll for something.
I might have to give you a job to do when you go to Nashville.
Give it to me. What you want?
Yeah, I might need you to take my Gibson up there for me.
They have a factory?
Yeah, in Nashville.
I'll do it. Reason why? Because
you could probably get a tour and everything.
I will be there multiple times this year, and I'm probably sure one of my friends up there is involved with them in one way or another.
Yeah, look into that. And let me know.
I will. And
that's something you're willing to do.
Oh yeah. In fact, I'll find out which of our friends plays Gibsons.
Let me tell you why. Because when the guitar was purchased through Guitar Center, the case that they gave me, the case has somebody else's card in there. So
Really?
it's for the wrong guitar. So
How
I
the
still
hell?
have that other card, to authenticate it.
Yeah.
But it's not for that guitar. It's for a different serial number.
So you need to switch out cases.
So I need them to authenticate it to give you a COD, I guess, a certificate.
I will find
or
out.
COA, I think they
I
call
will
it.
find out which amongst our friends.
It's a certificate of authentication. Yeah.
I will find out between them and.
So that's kind of where that's at, So I can never say that that's a real Gibson unless you have the paper for it.
Wow. Well, yeah, that's not a problem.
I mean, it is. It's a custom, obviously, but unless you got that book that says it,
I can pull the lever.
now I
and
can
ask for
ship it to
help on
them,
that.
but I really don't want to ship it to them.
No.
I've always thought one day I'm just going to take it up there and they can ship it back to me, whatever, it's fine.
No, and I could drop
But
it
they
and
can,
pick it up. I could go back and get it on the next trip, whichever way you want to do it.
Yeah, I mean they could ship it back to me because they'll probably
Okay.
ship it properly.
Yeah. But
Probably, I'm sure they're used to shipping stuff out.
I will take care of that issue.
Yeah, cool.
And also,
That would be so awesome.
I can handle that. That's not a problem. You should have told me that a long time ago.
I mean, I just thought about it, man.
Okay.
Honestly, I rarely play the guitar, but
I know.
One day when I'm gone and you
It's
guys
nice
want
to
to
have that
sell
many.
it,
It's nice to have that many guitars, and
when I'm gone, y'all want to sell it. Y'all want to be able to get what it's worth,
that's right.
And if you don't have that paper, it's not worth much.
Wow, that's crazy, man. But when I went up to, anyhow, I slid east to Corinth.
Yeah,
Had to pick up something from Jason Knoll for the benefit,
yeah,
and
yeah. You got a lot of stuff, man.
we have a lot of-
definitely beating the path.
we have a lot of friends.
Yeah,
And a
yeah.
lot of
It's
people.
testament to that for sure.
A lot of people have stayed at my house at one time or another.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a
We'll be taking all that stuff tomorrow, actually.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Which it'll be past by the time this comes out, but yeah.
Well, I went. Where I was when I was in Corinth.
Mm-hmm.
I had to drive right through on the way back north, come up to Nashville. Had to drive through. I think it's Adamsville, which that was the hometown of Buford Pusser, Walking Tall.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. So, but
The
I
guy with the
was
stick, right?
I was too late.
Yeah.
But when I was there talking to Jason, he said, "Let me know when you come up next time, and I'll go with you." And he said, "I'll show you the State Line Gang."
'Cause
All
he didn't
there.
live very long, did he? I recall.
I want to say
don't
maybe
recall.
his 40s.
Yeah, I think he died kind of young.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll hit that next time. That's what I'm saying. When I travel on business, there's
Yeah.
so many facets of.
Yeah, that's cool. You get
Well,
to
you're
do
there.
that.
You
Yeah.
stop and see it. And I said, people.
Make the most out of it.
Well, people. That's why people fly, and I don't like flying anymore.
Yeah.
And like I said, since '99, I said, no, I'm done. But there's so many things, and I learned this as a kid that you see when you're on the road that you could never see on a plane.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
And I'll hit that, and then when I do go up this time, Scotty Austin's band.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to be touring with Save My Label on this trip. It's his band. He's going to be
Yeah.
in Texas, and he's doing a festival. He plays in Houston on the 7th,
Yeah.
which you're going to go to.
April
It's a
7th?
Sunday.
April 7th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Probably.
he'll stay at the house.
Yeah.
Then they're going to leave, and they're going to a festival on that on the Monday they're going to a festival for the eclipse.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is
8th.
really cool. I told him, I said, man, make sure that you leave the house early that day because it's going to be
Oh no, they've already said it's going to be packed.
insane.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about that is I have an event in Nashville on the 10th. So I'm going to leave on the 8th because I want to be there at least by the 9th in case it gets slow,
Yeah.
you know. But my plan is I bought, well, because of the AT&T snafu where Waze was working, but it was doing the searching thing. So, like, I knew some things might be off. It's so funny, man. We used to drive and it used to always be maps or the Rand McNally. I went back and got another one because I was like, man, just in case. Just in case.
A paper map?
Oh, yeah. I'll go
I'll be
old
down.
school. I got the book, though, you know, the spiral. So made it a little bit more hardcore.
Interesting.
But what I also got is a guy that did, and it's on Amazon. Anybody could get it. There's a guy that did a atlas like that, but for the
You have an iPad, dude.
I know that.
You can download those maps.
It's
to the
also
iPad.
AT&T. Oh yeah, I know.
No, you can.
I know, but
download
I
it
try and save
as
my
a-
space.
as like PDF or something if you wanted to.
I'm scared that somebody's gonna EMP me. But no, that'll be my dad's fear. But no, there's a book you can also buy, and it's like that roadmap, but it's with I have to show this to you before I leave. It's with the total path
Of the solar
of this eclipse.
Okay.
So my plan is, because where I live,
Yeah.
it's going to be 96.8% dark.
Conroe.
Which is yeah. No, well,
Oh.
just west of Conroe.
Yeah.
But in my secret location. And then but yeah, Rob is getting ready to give you the coordinates to it. But yeah, but if I go up to Atlanta,
Yeah.
Texas on my way to Nashville, which I would do anyhow, that'll be that and Little Rock are in that path.
Yeah.
And I plan on catching there, but the traffic could S me over, you know. So,
Oh yeah.
but my plan is at least is to get the
And everybody's gonna be looking up.
like the well, you see, and I got the glasses on order, but it's not. I don't want to see that actually as much as how I want to view it. I want to see the darkness.
Yeah.
But not only, and last time we got shade. Remember last time we got a little bit of shade, and that was Missouri. But it'll be much darker here this time. Like I said 96.8% where I'm at. It'll be even more for you here. And
That's gonna be on a Monday, I believe.
yeah,
The majority of it. Yeah.
and that like the GoPro 7, I went up and I got the DJI version, their action camera. I think now is it 4 maybe, or it's a 3, brand new. I got the new one. I had one of the other ones, and now I got the new one.
That's still a wide lens though, right?
You can go both.
Can you?
Yeah, and
Yeah, because GoPro is not good for like viewing sky, like sun and stuff, moon.
we'll see what I
Because
want.
it's wide lens.
You can go both. And I'm glad that you told me that because there's some stuff I need to play
You have
with.
to have a telephoto basically.
I want to mess with it beforehand. And there's some, now I do have some different lenses. They give you some different lenses to play with.
Okay.
And maybe I need Mr. Photo Genius to give me
Well,
some.
you just buy the lens for the sun, you know.
Yeah. And I have some,
But you're still you still have to be able to get like a zoom, you know, telephoto
oh yeah.
type of shot.
Well, what I want more than anything is I want to.
That's why GoPro's never been good for that kind of stuff.
Well, another thing GoPro is not good for is they don't have hyperlapse. I mean, you can do click, 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 click. But
I mean, you can do like 5, I think, 10 seconds.
yeah,
intervals,
but guess what? With the DJI, same as the iPhone. In other words, the same photos you can take, the hyperlapse, all that stuff.
yeah,
You can do the slow mo. So I'm going to do a hyperlapse. I want to get in place, probably right off the highway somewhere, and do a hyperlapse of it coming in and it leaving. And it's not necessarily, I mean, I'd like to get the sun up into, but it's the whole, to see the whole change and then have a little bit of video.
I might try to go see if I can get a solar scope with the phone attachment.
And don't put your eye out, kid.
No, with the phone attachment.
Okay.
That might work.
I have to show you what I have, and we'll see if that actually works.
Yeah. Well, you can test it by yourself. Just point it at the sun.
Not come back with a burnout eye,
No.
like those cows in
You don't
Amarillo.
look at
Is
it.
that what you're trying to do?
Oh, you'll look at it from your phone or something, right? You sync up to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can test it out.
So we call it Cinco de April.
That's right.
No, that's a pretty bad joke.
Yeah.
But anyhow, yeah, that's the.
Yeah,
That's
I imagine we're going to get some quite a bit of images and stuff like that from it.
Oh yeah, it'll be a ton.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, this is unusual. I don't know if this ever happened. Maybe when I was a kid. Maybe
This close here.
I mean, well,
Into
at
our path.
all. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like across the United States, because I mean, and we've had two in the last, but that's it.
Yeah. This might be our last time to catch it.
Yeah, I
huh?
think this is for my lifetime. Yeah, this will
Yeah.
be it, unless I live to like 110 or 105,
something
some
like that.
crazy ass number like that.
Yeah.
But so yeah, the plan is to I mean, it's really cool, and man, but there's supposed to be like 2 gazillion people that come to Texas for this thing too.
Well, they're not going to be at my house, so that's all I care
Yeah,
about.
that's right. Go to Ohio. Yeah,
I'll be out in my driveway catching it.
yeah.
probably.
Imagine. Like I said, you'll get pretty good over here. I'll
I
show,
think so.
I'll show you the.
Yeah, I looked at the path and should be pretty good here.
Oh yeah, because if I'm getting 96.8, I would guess
yeah.
you're 97 at least,
Yeah.
maybe close to 98. You know,
Mhm.
but
No, it should be pretty nice.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the plan, and then I head to Nashville, and I guess we'll talk more about
Cool.
that scenario next time out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sounds good. Well, looking forward to the eclipse. Looking forward to your travels.
Yeah. All right. Well, this episode will come out. Oh, before the eclipse.
Will it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah. So get your stuff ready. In fact, you can order those.
Will it really? Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, it will. Definitely.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then,
I forget we're still in early March.
yeah, you can order your glasses. In fact, I just ordered some. Like it was like 5 of them.
Did you? Yeah, okay.
In fact, I ordered a pair of clip-ons too for my glasses.
Yeah, this will come out on the 20th. So, yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah. Watch, we have to switch it, and then people saying the 20th.
Oh, I know, yeah.
What, September? Yeah, no,
2024.
yeah, buddy.
The 20th of 24.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's all we got for today.
That's it.
Yeah,
Cool.
we did our job.
We got one down.
I think we have 2 in the bank
And then
still.
we'll have to round up some people this weekend.
Yeah, that'll be
which
easy.
we can
cheesy.
do that. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah,
We're pretty convincing.
and I'll try and get us some footage of some stuff for our YouTube page as well.
Cool.
Okie dokie pokies.
All right. It was
The
fun.
Nonsense Chronicles. We're out of here.
And like.
Thank you. Yes, like and subscribe.
Yes.